All right, as we continue today's game with Star Trek Navajo, we are going to pick up a little bit where we left off at the DS9 Promenade, where Solok was currently headed towards the security office.
And that is where Solak will go.
As you enter the security office, you're greeted by a Starfleet security officer as he can I help you with something, sir?
Interesting. I was expecting a Bajoran security officer.
We do double duty here on the station. It is a joint operation.
I'm interested in an individual on this station.
You need to be more specific. Is there some criminal activity you wish to report?
Not criminal activity per se, but potentially an individual that might be in danger.
Okay. Do you have a name for me?
I do not have a name, but I can point you to the individual that I'm referring to. There's a Vulcan woman, or seemingly a Vulcan woman, who is currently sitting in the section right across from the security office.
He gets up from the security, station and walks over towards the door, takes a look. She doesn't seem to be in danger now. Could you be more specific about the danger, sir?
Specifics are what elude me at this point right now. What rank is this individual?
He's a lieutenant.
Lieutenant
Lieutenant Anders, sir.
Anders. Yes. I lack information, Lieutenant Anders, and perhaps you and the security forces upon the station can assist me with this. The individual sitting over there is a Vulcan woman who bears remarkable resemblance to my mother. I have spoken with this individual, yet she claims that she is not my mother, even though all logic, including what I see with my own two eyes, would indicate to me that she is indeed my mother. My mother has been, well, to put quite honestly and bluntly, she has been on the run, so to speak, since I was a child. She was banished from my home world for actions that she took. And it is my understanding that there are many different parties, including the Romulan Star Empire, that have been very interested in acquiring her and her vast knowledge of technology and invention.
I see, and you believe this individual to be your mother.
If my calculations are correct, I believe there is a 68.537% chance that she is indeed my mother, based, of course, on me seeing her, listening to her voice, and getting a general understanding of where she would be at this particular time. It's my understanding, based upon the information that I've been able to gather on my own, of course, without the assistance of Starfleet intelligence or security, that she was somewhere in the frontier territories. That she is here is most interesting and, if I may say, somewhat alarming.
Well, to be frank, sir, we're technically in the frontier territories, but I will have a talk with her.
I think it might need to be more than just that, Lieutenant. I feel that if there is some way, or I shouldn't say feel, I think that the best course of action might be to observe this individual. If there's information that the station has on her, her whereabouts, the ship that she is traveling on, observation and intelligence, I think, are warranted here as a bit of subterfuge and, well, I think I've made my point.
Sir, with all due respect, I would need some more concrete proof uh, to elicit such actions.
There are other possibilities as well. There could be a genetic test but she would, I assume, have to agree to it. This could be done here at the medical facilities. If this genetic test proves that she is indeed my mother, that would open things up. Starfleet, in particular Starfleet Intelligence, would be most interested in the location of Telessa. That is my mother's name. The individual claims that she is not Telessa, but I believe that she is.
Do you know what? I'll tell you what. I will run a background check if you can get me her name. I'll be more than happy to run a background check to see if there's anything there. Other than that, sir, I don't believe I could really help you on that matter. There are individuals' rights that I have to, be concerned about and I cannot fringe upon.
I understand. The Starfleet background on Telessa, Tlesa, with an apostrophe between the T and the L, is well known. She was a well known and famous inventor on Vulcan.
And he jots that on the pad. And the name that this woman that you claim to be your mother, do you have a name for her?
I do not. Is it possible for you to find her name? There can't
Well,
be many Vulcans here on this station. And if there are, how many females?
give me a moment. And he starts going through the list, the many ships that have docked and passenger ships. Um, when your subject from over at the sort of convenient area gets up and starts walking down the other part of the promenade, disappearing from view.
I step outside and try and get a sense of where she went.
She
And I
went down
just went
there,
that way.
yeah, presumably the other side of the, promenade ring.
Lieutenant Anders, I will return shortly. And I follow her.
Are you following her covertly or just following her?
Covert, covertly.
Okay. Well, this will be an opposed task, so give me a control security, and you'll be setting the difficulty. But as you
If I'm
leave,
sitting,
Lieutenant Anders like, "Sir, please don't," and he just sighs.
uh, c- uh, uh, update me here. If I'm setting the difficulty, I want
You
it
you want
high, right?
you want it as much as you can. Yes, you want
Okay.
the yeah, but it is a control
I'll buy it.
security.
I'll buy a die with threat.
Okay.
And I don't think I've got any focus that applies here, so I'm just going to. So 3 successes.
I'm gonna spin that threat back. Why did I roll the one dice? Did my thing break? I'll just do that.
Did you break your did you break your game?
Oh, I wonder if I broke the macro or not. Just do that. Currently, it she does meet the difficulty. As she stops in her tracks, turns and looks at Solak, is it not?
It is. Thank you. I
You,
did not get your name.
I believe I told you my name. It's Team I.
Can you spell that for me, GM? TMI, is that it?
Yeah.
Right, thank you.
Curious, why are you following me?
Your resemblance to an individual that I know is very, very interesting. And I have reservations as to whether or not you are being entirely truthful with me.
Vulcans do not lie. Why would I lie to you?
That is true, but it is my knowledge of the individual in question that she rejected Vulcan philosophy. She is quite capable of lying and is very good at it, from what I remember. May I ask what your age is right now? The individual that I know that has a striking resemblance to you would be precisely 96.1356 years in age. Is that your age?
If I was such age and still looked this appealing to others, I would say I am doing quite well for myself. But no, I am much younger than that.
Interesting. It is my thought that your name is not Timai, that your name is actually Telesa, and that you are my mother. I would like to prove this theory through a test, if you would be willing to accept a genetic test. You could simply go to the medical bay right now and give a sample of blood or a sample of genetic material, and they would be able to determine without question whether or not we are related.
I'm sorry, I do not have time for that. I am about to depart.
Really? Where are you departing to?
She just looks at you as to why would you be so interested into where I am going. Sorry, that's the GM
Because
laughing, not the character.
um, because I believe that your life is in danger.
If my life was endangered, I believe I would be taking more precautions. It would be logical to assume such matters of handing my or having others handle my security measures if I felt the need for it. I am currently in no danger. Your thoughts for concerned, while heartfelt, is most appreciated. If you excuse me, I must be going.
Outside of the thing, GM, is there a role that I could do that would make me more confident in knowing that this is indeed my mother? The way that she's speaking, the phrases that she's using, something that would give away that she's hiding something from me.
Give me, I guess, a insight command difficulty 2.
Okay. I'll buy a die with threat.
Gain a momentum. Well, you are not of the realm you believe this to believe your mother. She definitely appears that she is hiding something, judging by her tone and language. It is unclear, but she is definitely hiding something.
Got it. Logically, you are correct. If your life were in danger, you would take better care to see that you were not placed in compromising situations. My mother was very much on the run from others that were pursuing her. You do not strike me as an individual that is on the run, hiding, or attempting to disguise oneself from others that could be pursuing them. To see you here on this station is baffling, to say the least. But my perceptions of you lead me to believe that you are hiding something from me. I would like you to know that I will find out what it is that you are hiding from me, and that we will see each other again. That I can assure you.
She raises an eyebrow. As you wish. And she walks off, getting into a docking port, and you presume to be a where a transport is at.
I return back to the security office. And I say, Lieutenant, the individual in question is a Vulcan woman who claims her name is Tamai. That's spelled T''MI. I would like to know what ship she is assigned to and where that ship is registered from.
So she's. I would have to get with the station security commander to divulge that information. I'm going to need some grounds on, sir, with all due respect, to hand that information over to you.
I understand. I will look into it on my end as well, but the understanding here is that this woman is either my mother or associated with my mother in some way. Her life is in danger, and she is a person of importance to the Federation and to other interested parties. So, if there is a way for us to track where she is going or where she has come from, it would be in service to Starfleet. I understand your protocol, and I respect it. Thank you for your time.
Of course, sir. Sorry. For the security report, can I have your name?
My name is Commander Caval. Sorry, Commander Caval. Commander Solak.
Wait a
I
minute.
am. Hold on. I even had a joke here and I've blown it. Uh, my name is Commander Solak. I am most certainly not Captain Solak. Please make certain that you get my rank specific. Otherwise, I will receive messages from Captain Sisko.
Of course, sir.
Thank you. As I step out of the security office, I tap my comm badge and say, Solak to Commander Caval.
Yeah, I'll Cabal here. What can I do for you?
Commander, I have a question for you that pertains to security. Do you have a moment?
Of course, is something the matter?
Not necessarily the matter with the ship, it is a personal nature.
Of course, feel free to proceed. Do you wish to meet in person on the station, or
I'll meet you on the ship when I'm back on board. I should be arriving there shortly. I have recently come in contact with somebody who I did not expect to come in contact with. And I believe their life is in danger. And I believe that who they are is of some great importance to Starfleet intelligence.
I see. Have you brought it up with station security?
I have. They're limited by what they can tell me. I'm hoping that by giving you more information, we could learn more on our own, or involve potentially Starfleet intelligence.
Of course. Any information that you wish to acquire, I can attempt to contact station security and have it sent to the Navajo for further studying.
Excellent. I'll be back on board the ship shortly.
Very well. We'll continue the conversation in person.
Thank you, Commander. Solak out. And Solak kind of looks down the passageway at where Tamai exited and notes everything about her presence, her language, her movement, everything about her, and logs it and records it in his mind. And just stands there for a moment while doing that. And when he's finished, he leaves to go back to the ship.
You
Out of
need
character. Good one, Captain. TMI. Very good.
Yeah, that's what I. Same here. I was like, uh-oh.
Good one, Captain.
Yeah, I'm assuming. I guess we'll continue this vein for a little bit longer.
Yeah, I'm assuming we can just Solog. We'll meet up and you can give me the narrative recap.
So we can start it out with, I've already told you that I've
Right.
met this woman and everything like that, but I haven't told you about my mother yet. So I've just told you that I saw this woman, this is who she was, and all of that. And that is when she left the station. I went back to Starfleet security there, Lieutenant Anders, and he was unable to provide me with additional information about this Tamai.
So she is a Vulcan person of interest then?
I believe that this woman is potentially my mother, a woman that was banished from the planet Vulcan when I was a child.
And is the name Tamai potentially an alias? That is not the name of your mother?
My mother's name is Talessa, so yes, I believe it is an alias. I do not know the reference to this alias. I assume that she just took it to try and not let on the fact that she is indeed one of the great inventors in the history of Vulcan, and that she is on the run, in a sense, from other interested parties that would like to capture her and use her for their means.
Are there active warrants or investigations out for her arrest and detainment by the Vulcan High Council? Or?
The Vulcans are not interested in arresting her. They banished her from the realm. They banished her from the planet because she did not practice the total and complete philosophy of logic. In fact, in many ways, she rebelled against it.
I see. Well, I can attempt to reach out to station security to acquire any sort of data that they've received for it. I can attempt to convince them that it is of some import to your personal explorations. I think that perhaps we should be able to convince them to at least give us some basic data on her arrival times at the station and departure times and the like.
Solak steps closer to the commander and says, "Commander, it would be more prudent if we were to meet with the captain in the ready room and discuss this further. There are personal suggestions that I would like to make in this matter that I am not necessarily comfortable talking about in front of the rest of the crew."
Of course. Captain, this is Commander Caval. Are you available for a quick meet with Commander Solak in your ready room?
Surely. Come on in, gentlemen.
Oh, you're still on the promenade at Quark's Bar with Klingons.
Oh, okay.
Oh, he's
drinking.
Oh, I thought it was the ship. Oh.
Let me try this. Is it how important is it?
I believe it is important, Captain, but it could wait if you want to rest and relax more.
No, I'm saying if it's important. I mean, I am off duty. You may want me to sober up if it's that important.
Ah, I
And
see.
in the background, there should be the sound of loud, raucous Klingon singing.
Ah! Bucket
I think
more
this can.
blood wine!
I think this can wait, Captain. Commander Solnock, if you don't mind meeting me in the captain's ready room, I would appreciate it.
Oh, very well. Yeah, I'll borrow his office for. What was the more personal
I guess
touch that
here we
discussed?
can come over here. Oh, never mind. No, we're in here. Cool.
Oh, yeah, I was just
Cool.
waiting for the map to load.
Yeah.
Figured we were
You're sitting in his chair. Just it's great.
yeah. I move all of the stuff that he has on his desk to slightly different locations.
you hang whatever that dagger is that
yeah,
the Andorians have on the wall
yeah,
there.
yeah. Stick my Ushan in his
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Looks good, doesn't it? Thank you, Commander. And I hesitate here when I say this, the personal nature of this is most difficult for me to communicate. My mother left Vulcan when I was a child. She was banished from the planet for engaging in activities that the Vulcan High Council felt were against the philosophy of logic. One of the things that she did was she experimented on me. The neural implant that I have, that is a result of my mother's experimentation.
She did this to you when you were very young?
Indeed, this was to save my life, according to her. I was involved in an accident that very nearly killed me. Her actions in inserting a neural implant into my mind were, in her words, able to save my life. In the words of the Vulcan Medical Society and the Vulcan High Council, she committed an act that was unforgivable. She was completely and totally non-repentant of this act and in fact lashed out at the Vulcan High Council, saying that they were beneath her and beneath her logic and her intelligence. She rejected all Vulcan philosophy, and as a result, she was banished from the planet. She disappeared, and I have not heard or seen her since. Until today.
Do you have any reason to suspect that that she is who she says she is and that she is lying to you? Is there potential that she is not your mother? I'm sure that you are very certain of this.
I turn my back to him as I look at something on the wall, and I put my hands behind my back and say, I am not certain of anything in this matter. There are no facts that I can give you, no extrapolation of data. All I can tell you is what I can observe. And I turn around to him.
It sounds to me like
I can observe her face, her voice, her mannerisms. They are all very familiar to me. And I have a strong suspicion that she is hiding something based upon heartbeat, eye contact, things of that nature. Things that a security person, when conducting an interrogation, would know what I am referring to.
So it sounds like you have a, for lack of a better term, a rather firm hunch, a gut feeling.
A crude term, a term that I do not agree with, but if we are to try and use the same lexicon, then yes. I believe that there is more to this and that a further investigation will provide actual facts rather than intuition. Gut, as you say.
Very well. Would you like me to handle this above board with station security to attempt to get more information?
I would like to share with you all of the information that I have gathered on my own. That would be a first step. The second step would be to engage with station security and see if we can get information about the ship that she was on, where she's from, and where she was going. I believe that she is a security risk, not just to Starfleet, but to other other civilizations across the galaxy.
Mhm.
And I do know that the Romulan Star Empire has been in active movement to try and find her and obtain her for several years now,
Mhm.
and specifically the Tal Shiar.
Perfect. But that could be enough credence for gathering station data. So at least that gives us at least a correct security standpoint for why we're looking into it. You said that she left into a shuttle bay. What around what time was that? Perhaps we can check the Navajo sensors to determine if there was a ship that departed from that side of the station around the same time that you saw her depart.
And I give him the time, and but I also say there were several ships coming to and from the station at that time. What I find interesting, Commander, is that if it is indeed my mother, she was making absolutely no attempt to disguise herself. She was out in the open, eating in front of other people, on a station that is full of all sorts of individuals. There are covert agents most likely all over Deep Space Nine, from the Romulan Star Empire to the Dominion to the Klingons to Starfleet intelligence. Why would she choose to show herself here when there have been people looking for her for decades now?
Either she feels that this is a secure location where she is safe, or she was here for a reason to show herself on purpose, potentially.
I disagree with your use of words there. She would not feel anything.
Of course. Well, back to our lexicon differences, but
But it is possible that with her rejection of Vulcan philosophy, she might very well indeed feel. Perhaps it was arrogance, taunting, if you will.
potentially. I know nothing about her personal goals or her personality traits, so that's is more up to you to determine what her greater meanings will be for being here.
She was a brilliant scientist and inventor who was rejected by her own people, and she left those people in a belligerent and emotional way. That was 47.4365 years ago. A lot can happen in that time. People can change.
She showed no semblance of recognition when she laid eyes on you.
No. But I do believe that she was trying to hide that recognition. I believe that she was trying to hide something of importance from me.
Well, in the meantime, before the captain arrives, we attempt to do some digging, see if there's any other sightings of her. You said you haven't seen her since you were a child, correct?
That is correct. I was 5.3627 years old at the time.
Well, I guess we should wait for the captain to return before we try to tango with station security, but I think with all of what you've told me, we have enough reason to at least get logs of her arrivals and departures. If you do suspect that potentially she could have some interactions with the Romulan Star Empire, that could give us a reason to look into this further.
Thank you, Commander. I would also appreciate it if we have a certain level of discretion here. I do not want this to get out amongst the rest of the crew.
Of course, we can keep this very quiet. There's no need to loop in any of the other security staff or any other crewmen at this point in time. Your silence will be adhered to.
Thank you, Commander. And I trust that you will brief the captain on this particular situation.
Of course, when he returns, I'll give him the full rundown and see how directly he wishes to proceed with Deep Space Nine's security.
Thank you. For the remainder of my time, I believe I will take the rest of my short leave in my quarters. I have some work that I have to attend to. With your permission, I would like to be excused to my quarters.
Of course, I'll keep you apprised when the captain returns, and we'll let you know if we're making any forward progress.
Thank you, Commander. It is appreciated.
Of course.
And so Locke leaves.
How much longer you guys wish to continue on this vein?
I'm good.
Yeah, I guess if you want, we could narrative hand wave that, tell the captain what's going on, and then message DS9 like, "Hey, send us your stuff," and then we can deal with it later potentially.
All I will say is they tell you that the individual departed on a civilian freighter, currently headed towards into Federation space. That's all they know.
I'm assuming they give us the name of the ship and the.
Yeah.
SS Botany Bay.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Then I'll send that over. I guess whenever we get that to Solak.
For the sake of Solak, out of character, he's got an alias name. He's got a freighter that this person was on, and that it was headed within Federation space. He would, on his own, begin to track or find additional information about this individual and where they're going, who they are, what their background is, etc. And he would begin to involve Caval in that detective work.
Yep.
I'm curious, how much of this do you tell the captain?
I think I'd relay all of the factual stuff to it, and just let you know that I'm doing what I can to assist Solak in any sort of further investigations, and that if it becomes anything deeply relevant, I will keep you informed. But since it is a personal matter, I'm just keeping it rather quiet on the main official channels and that sort of stuff.
But the captain would say, "But I understand this person is wanted by Starfleet intelligence."
Is she? I don't know. Is she actively being pursued by Starfleet intelligence, or is it just like, oh hey,
I would
Vulcan?
I would say that Starfleet intelligence. Solak doesn't have anyone at Starfleet intelligence that he knows.
Mhm.
Hey, it's the captain. Are you sober? He doesn't know anyone in Starfleet intelligence that he can speak to about this, but he feels that logically, Starfleet intelligence would want to know where she is and would want to bring her back home. Home being the Federation. They would not want her captured by the Tal Shiar, for example.
I guess, can I check and see if there are any Federation APBs out for this individual?
Yeah, they wouldn't. Again, the Federation wouldn't want to arrest her.
Right.
It would be they would want to know where she is and who is she, who does she have contact with, that kind of thing. They would want to monitor her. That's what Solak would feel, or that's what he would say.
Sure. Yeah, I guess we'll put it in the database and see if her real name or the alias pops up anything Starfleet backend side, to see if there's anything going on that front.
Oh,
You do. So you want to do a security dive on this individual?
Yeah.
Give me a control plus security difficulty of 5.
Goodness gracious. Okay.
I can assist you as well if you need it.
Yeah,
and that would make sense that we would be working together
for
on
sure.
it.
Yeah.
I just don't have any foci for it, so.
I do.
But
I have investigation.
But I've got a 15 with control and security.
Nice. Yeah, I've got investigation You said diff 5. I'll give you threat up to 4 die.
I'm trying to
So
get
3
it.
threat.
I'm trying to get us 2 more momentum or 1 more momentum so I can use walking encyclopedia.
Well, I roll first, right? So then if I
Yeah,
roll
yeah.
and you assist, so you can.
I mean, it's
But I guess
only
I
one
gotta-
dice on the assist, so
Yeah, it's only
Yeah.
1 dice in the
Yeah.
assist, but it does give me a focus in this regard, which is kind
Right,
of fun.
focus in my mother.
what is
Well, I guess it would be some sort of security focus.
Right. Go
so
ahead,
3
GM.
threat. So you're rolling 4 dice. Control security.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's give it a gander.
Oh, complication, love it.
That's okay. I've got bold, and then also intense. So do I want 12 as well? Woo. Actually, no, I don't. No, I'm okay. I'm just gonna be able to count. We'll be fine. Wow. A failure.
Oh, let's
Unfortunate.
see if I get it. Control and security. We came close, man.
Yeah. Just seeing if there's anything else. No. The new chief of security one's not okay. Yeah. Oh well. That's all I got, unfortunately.
Assist from the ship.
It's true.
Sure. I mean, if you were keeping it, are you keeping it like under wraps, or are you? Because it depends on the ship. Because the ship's gonna log all of it.
I mean,
Okay. No, it's if you want.
yeah.
This,
I gotta,
then
I gotta use the ship systems to.
controls. Sorry, computer security.
Okay, I'll get it.
Hello, Rye.
Welcome.
Hi guys, sorry.
It's all
So
good.
Locke does not want Rye to know that he's looking into this.
Hey, we got there. Yeah.
As the two of you dig into this individual, you realize that the identity is fraudulent. Completely well done enough to where there is it casts down suspicions on how level of detail that this essentially this identity was created.
Okay.
So it was so good we don't know how it was created. Is that what you're
It's so good that it raises eyebrows on who created it.
Gotcha.
Like it's definitely not criminal. You know, it's not like some criminal did this. Whoever did it is very good at fashioning this level of detail of identification.
Okay.
I guess after we do that, we take our results to the captain, which is why we're
Yeah,
here with the
yeah.
captain.
Well, that's certainly interesting. Commander Solak, how sure are you that the woman you saw on the promenade is Talea?
Talessa, sir.
Apologies.
It's all right. I'm sure that the wine is still affecting you. No, in character. Prior to our security research, sir, I was 68.9374% positive that she was my mother. With the new information that we have gathered, I believe that it is now 79.943% positive that she is indeed Talessa of Vulcan.
And you are sure that this woman is a threat to Federation security?
Not necessarily a threat to security, sir, but if she were abducted or captured by others, then she would be a threat. Yes. She herself is not the threat, but if others were to obtain her or capture her, then she could be a threat at some point. Yes. Her knowledge of invention, her knowledge in general would be an asset to any organization, government, or entity.
And if I understand what you told me, you're unsure whether or not Starfleet intelligence or security is looking for her, but you seem to imply that perhaps Vulcan's own security forces may be looking for her.
Vulcan security is not necessarily looking for her, though there is an interest in her. I have no idea whether Starfleet intelligence is pursuing her in any way. I do not know anyone within that realm. Though, if my information is correct, if the Tal Shiar and if potentially the Dominion are looking into potentially acquiring her, logically, Starfleet intelligence would know that, and they would try to acquire her as well as a way of preventing them from getting in touch with her. I do not believe that my mother would willingly assist the Tal Shiar or any other entity. She would not willingly assist Starfleet. But there are ways to make an individual help beyond their control.
Well,
There's
then doesn't logic suggest that you record your suspicions and report them to Starfleet intelligence?
Yes, I believe logic does. And that is what I have done, sir. Through Commander Cavall, I believe is the best course of action. Starfleet intelligence is an interesting group. Their methods are not necessarily the most logical to me, but I was never quite certain as to whether or not Talessa was actually alive. And now I believe she is.
well,
There have
I
been
can
rumors, he's going to say, sorry, real quick. He says, there have been rumors for years that she was alive and that she was living in certain frontier planets or colonies. None of them had been substantiated, none of them were completely credible, but it was enough to warrant a personal, private investigation, not necessarily to get the attention of Starfleet intelligence.
well, I'm happy to inform Starfleet intelligence that we may have sightings of her, but of course there is the truth of the matter in that once we pass off that information to Starfleet intelligence, they will handle it however they see fit, and our consultation in the matter will most likely diminish.
I believe an escalation in this regard is warranted.
I agree. Commander Cavall, encrypt the information and send it to Starfleet intelligence. And in the meantime, between the three of us, let's keep an eye out for her to see if she reappears.
Agreed.
Of course. Cool. Yeah, I'll go encrypt the transmission and send to Starfleet intelligence all of the data that we gathered and the suspicions that we have kind of begun to develop as well.
Captain, before I leave, I would like to reiterate to you that though this is a personal matter, this will in no way affect my function aboard this ship. My mother rejected Vulcan philosophy, but I did not.
I didn't doubt you for a minute, Commander.
Thank you, Captain. With your permission, I would like to return to my duties.
Very well. Dismissed, Commander.
Thank you, Captain. And he bumps right into the door because the doors don't open. I'll fix that, sir. Hold on.
And Commander Cavall, if you'll don't mind minding the bridge for me a little bit longer, I'm gonna get another triac shot from the doctor and get cleaned up for duty.
Of course, sir. Take your time.
With that, though,
Yeah.
I think we will fast forward several days, actually. Just for the record, you get a nice little reply from Kaval from Starfleet Justice. Thank you for the information. We will look into it, and that's all you heard about it.
Copy. Sounds about
A
right.
very logical response from Starfleet Intelligence.
Oh yeah.
So you've essentially picked up the medical supplies. You've headed towards back to Gaming on 5. You dropped the medical supplies off, and currently you are in deep space, essentially cataloging, various spatial anomalies. During this time, when suddenly your who is currently managing communications?
Rye should.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'll do it.
We've been doing everything else. Give Rye something to do.
Captain, I'm picking up a Starfleet subspace signal emitting from Kalar. Oh God, Roman numerals 4.
Anything unusual about the signal, Lieutenant? Come in. I forgot my science off strike. Anything unusual about the signal, Commander?
Okay. Uh, well, the signal itself is fine. However, Kalara 4 is home to a pre-warp civilization in the Bronze Age. It shouldn't be coming from there.
Can you tell me anything else about the signal? Is it a distress signal, a call for help? Or are we just picking up communications traffic?
Give me insight plus science difficulty 1.
Well, I got it. It's a little hard to make out. It seems to be from an old probe. It's emitting there, but not being able to get a clear read of it.
Very well, let's go take a look at it. Ensign Grawl, alter course and engage at warp 7.
Aye, Captain.
Commander Rye, make a review of Starfleet's last survey of that system, and get a report ready for when we get close.
Yes, sir.
We are stable at warp 7, Captain.
Give me a reason plus science difficulty 1, right, to dig up all the information on the system.
I might as well use that momentum, see if I can get any more.
Nice.
There we go.
Gain 2.
I stepped away for a second if somebody wants to hit the 2 momentum.
Oh,
I got it.
computer science from the ship.
Oh.
I sent you the information, so.
Yep. According to logs, sir, the planet was last surveyed by the USS Hornet.
Oh God.
It's got
those
a
guys.
dominant diverse pre-warp culture, uh, Mesoamerican like culture, called the Varnan Dominion. They seem to be very warlike.
Oh, good. Another group calling themselves the Dominion.
Yeah. Another place we're gonna visit that the Hornet went to.
Yes, the USS Hornet. I believe there was another mission that we had that involved that ship.
Yeah. How long before the that last distress call that we handled the previous Hornet mission? How long before that was this scan they did?
Are you referring to the survey, like before they?
Yeah. Like so. How long before they crash landed did this survey happen that the USS Hornet did over here?
That would be a, I guess, a free question. from your
Yeah, I mean,
science
we
officer.
have in our computers when the Hornet went down.
Yeah,
and I'm
it's
assuming
just
if
it's
we
an
know when
attain.
it.
It's
Yeah,
more of an
yeah.
attain because it's
Sure.
not included in the that basic line information. So.
Yeah. Well, I don't want to steal your free question for that. So.
As a side note, I'm often distracted by Garal's mullet.
True. It's very powerful.
I mean, that's an impressive mullet right going
It's
on.
pretty
Right there.
glorious.
I mean, I gave it Rye that information. I mean, they have studies and their science officer role. So.
Yeah, well, she stepped away. That's why I'm not.
Yeah,
That's why I don't want to.
It's been it was a year, in between those dates.
Okay.
Any other information you wish to gather?
I'm assuming they were Bronze Age when the Hornet went down as well.
Well, yeah, that's the information you gathered.
Okay. Oh,
they were Bronze Age when the Hornet did their initial scans, and I mean, granted, it's been 100 years, but most species don't leave the Bronze Age that quickly. So unless they're
right.
on the
Unless somebody
verge.
helped them.
Right, which we've already kind of interacted with that a little, this sector.
So the message is coming from a probe. That was what we established here.
Yeah, a Starfleet probe.
A Starfleet probe. Got it.
Yeah.
Sent from the USS Hornet.
Yes.
All right, can we pull up the Hornet's mission logs from that survey? See if there's anything relevant in there. Like, hey, we lost a probe.
Right.
No, there's nothing in there. Like everything was kind of standard. They took every precaution that they could. They for a momentum, I will give you some additional information from reading the logs, but because it's kind of like on a skim note side of it.
Sure, I'll happily spend that moment.
They found a strange obelisk on the planet. It appeared to be offline. They couldn't really get into it and was kind of impervious to scans, but they thought it was culturally relevant to it. They were just, it was a confusing architecture by one of their their lead scientists. Couldn't really make anything out on it.
Interesting that the device was apparently impervious to scans.
Yeah, we've never run into an obelisk that's impervious to scans before.
It is remarkable how that is a common feature with certain objects.
Right.
But these were scanners of, I guess the Hornet was what, 100 years ago, right? Something like
Yeah.
that?
A little over.
Yeah. These were scanners of 100 years ago. Our modern scanners might be able to give us more information about the obelisk.
Possibly. I don't suppose their logs included, their scans included any images of the obelisk, did it?
Is it your intention to retrieve the probe, Captain?
Let's find out the truth of what's going on before we make any plans about what we are looking for. Commander Rai seemed a little uncertain as to the source of the signal. Let's get closer and have a better look and see what we're up against before we make conclusions like that.
At the very least, it'll be very culturally interesting to see how far the civilization has developed.
I feel like we need to just preemptively gather all of the Hornets' logs. We keep running into locations that they've had previous encounters with. Might do us good to kind of sure up on what their mission parameters are in the sector as we can about what all they did.
Yeah, floor puzzles, mysterious heaven-like experiences. I'm
Right.
sensing a theme, but I'm not hating it. I'm just there's definitely a theme.
Sorry, Adam character. I'm looking through my old logs, looking for the last time we ran into a mysterious obelisk.
You were not the captain at that time.
We had the pyramid. The pyramid one was a thing that the Hornet found, and then there was.
And then we found the Hornet itself.
I found the Hornet. It crashed, and there was the weird stuff there.
Yeah. You were playing your other character.
Oh, like
Who was he Andorian or was he Anar? I can't remember.
This was the Anar, yeah.
He was Anar. Yeah.
But yeah, that was the whole.
You all look alike to me, so.
Yeah, right. Yeah, there's like the artifact in the cave, and like the old Starfleet guy was there from the Hornet. And...
Yeah, we found him.
aha, there's the log from that.
Yeah, and then there was the other one, the Bronze Age, the other Bronze Age planet that the Hornet went to. The Balos and the Anor, and had the pyramid and all that tomfoolery. I think that was.
Was that the one where we went underground and there was like we had to like shut it down before it destroyed the planet, that sort of thing?
Yeah. The earthquakes down there. Yeah.
Good times. So now we're talking about it in character. Was that the one we were underground and there were like earthquakes and stuff?
Alrighty, well.
And they're called the Varnan Dominion.
Putting it on the notes.
Got it.
Varnan.
But there's 4, right? My Roman numeral is rusty. 4. Yeah, that's 4.
Yeah.
My dyslexia and I don't get along.
Well, imagine dyslexia must be tough on Roman numerals.
Yeah, Roman numerals. That's a.
Oh, all the lines.
Just a real quick side note, Ray. My mother suffered from terrible dyslexia, especially when she was a child. It was so bad she couldn't read. She had trouble reading. Her dyslexia was so bad. She eventually got to the point where she was a ferocious reader.
Nice.
She read everything, but it was always difficult for her.
I read, but mostly it's guessing. It doesn't help that I'm also blind, so it definitely makes things difficult.
Yeah.
And I mean blind, I can't see very well. I'm close to medically blind, but not quite there.
Yeah. She had issues with eyesight as well. So it's
very,
very,
I was
very
a bottle
similar.
cap early.
Yeah.
Nice.
And my best friend from high school was dyslexic, but he used it as a badge of honor when other kids in high school pick on him about his grades and say, "I'm dyslexic. What's your excuse?"
Right. Yeah. Pretty good.
It's so many people deal with dyslexia. It's we know more about it now than we did 60 years ago. But
Oh yeah.
60 years ago. High school wasn't that long ago for me.
but when she was in high school, with her it's 65 years ago. Didn't they make Spock dyslexic? And they said that in Discovery. They said that he was dyslexic as a child.
yeah, I think you're right. Yeah,
They
he
did.
was.
They did.
Yeah,
As a
you're
child,
right.
he suffered from dyslexia. Yeah.
And he needed more reasons to have him bullied as a kid.
The stuff the Navajo crew talks about on the bridge while
Yeah,
We're out of character here. I mean, this
All
is,
right.
you know.
So yeah, you guys, I guess, headed. Is there anything else you wish to dig up, or you just, wish to speed up plot, arrive, in orbit around the planet?
I guess Solok would like to get more information from the logs from the Hornet about the Varnan Dominion.
what type of things they observed?
It's a Meso type America, like very close to Mesoamerica.
And they're warlike, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
There's several warring tribes.
So perhaps.
Yeah. All part of the same dominion. They fight amongst each other often.
Very
All right.
common trait of Bronze Age civilizations.
Nope, I'm good with speed of plot arrival, so we can see what we're dealing with.
As you arrive in system, you arrive in orbits. The probe transmission intensifies and get a much stronger signal from it. It's definitely a older code, but one that Starfleet still sort of uses and monitors.
It's an older code, sir, but it checks out.
Yeah, Edson Gura, fly casual. Now, let's
Okay,
get,
you're only allowed two cross sci-fi references here.
It's going to start deducting momentum if we keep it up. Or adding threat.
I'll add threat, but
All right. Well, Prone will direct Commander Rye to get a good scan of the surface and see how much has changed since the Hornet was here, and have Commander Caval, or actually Commander Solak, there, our chief resident engineer, have a look at that transmission from the probe and get the metadata off of it and see what we can learn about that probe.
2 rolls. So I guess one's gonna be a reason science, assisted by the ship's sensors plus science, difficulty of 2. The other roll is gonna be reason engineering, assisted by ship's computers engineering, difficulty 2 as well.
You can go first, Ray.
Okay.
Ho 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 ho!
Nice.
Boom boom!
I'm sorry, what was the ship rolling again?
Sensor science. You should be rolling 2 dice because I think you have advanced sensors.
Yes.
Gain a momentum.
I already put it in. And just let me know when you're ready for me to roll GM.
Go ahead.
All right, sorry, it was engineering and control? Or insight?
Reason plus engineering, assisted by the ship's computers engineering,
Thank you very much.
difficulty 2.
So I'm looking at the, I'm basically scanning the probe. Is that what I'm doing to get the
You're
data from it?
Well, the probe is transmitting, so you are essentially using the ship's computers to run a diagnostic on the probe to figure out what's going on because the probe technically should have auto destruct
Mhm.
100 years ago. So like there shouldn't be anything remaining of it.
And it's difficulty 2. Would you accept either diagnostics or computers as a focus?
Yes.
Thank you. Difficulty 2 with a focus. I'll spend a momentum. That way I can use cautious. And thank God I did. Right. That.
Wow.
I guess it was just meant to be.
Yeah, I guess.
I was going to roll the ship engineering, but whatever.
Force of habit. I already had it up for my roll, so I was like, "Oh, I'll just do it."
I'm just playing with you. I think it's good that there's the complications there.
Gain of momentum.
But apparently the engines blow up.
Right.
Don't.
I'll be busy in repair bay for a while. Captain, my initial findings here after doing a diagnostic of the probe indicate that the probe seems to be malfunctioning. But the logs show that that it became active only 2 months ago. It apparently had been dormant up until 2 months ago.
From the metadata of the probe, we would verify that it was one of the Hornets probes.
The probe sensors show offline, but do not display. But it is the probe sensors show that it is offline, but it does not display.
No, it shows that
Probe
they're.
sensor.
You're
So
reading
go ahead.
It shows online, but
Online.
doesn't display any information.
Okay, so it's online. Got it. The probe sensors show that they are online, but they are not displaying any information. And it is indeed a probe from the USS Hornet, sir. Yes. Most interesting.
And we use the Hornets prefix code to ping the probe and download its databank.
I don't see why not. We could also bring the probe aboard, sir.
That's probably going to be the next step. I want to see what Commander Rye's scan gives us, particularly for the area right around the probe. I'd hate to beam the probe up and then have someone's house collapse into the resulting hole.
So there's not much change. Minute population growth, a couple more settlements, but no signs of any other indications.
Anything in the immediate area around the probe?
It is the center of a pyramid, sir.
Interesting location for that. Pyramid of native design.
Architecturally matches. Seems fairly local. I'm not sure if they found the probe and built the pyramid or just happened to build the pyramid over where the probe landed. But that is where it is at.
It is on the surface of the planet. That could potentially give us a reason as to why the probe reactivated 2 months ago, Captain. Someone might have turned it back on accidentally.
Well, I don't know about accidentally. Rechecking my notes, the notes here, that pyramid was there when the Hornet arrived.
Interesting.
Is it possible that the Karnan Dominion found it and then moved it into their pyramid?
That would be
Seems
logical.
likely.
Tell me more about the immediate space, about this pyramid. Is there a settlement around it? Life signs? What do we got down there?
The pyramid is in the center of a very large city. Well, large by their standards.
Well, that's going to complicate matters some. Unfortunately, this also looks like, whether intentionally or not, the USS Hornet has contaminated this planet's culture. We're going to need to take some corrective action. Commander Cabal. Well, how do you feel about wearing a disguise, Commander?
I believe
Oh,
he's,
I
yeah,
done, yeah.
BRB.
Which
I think we
commander?
I think we lost both Salak and Cabal at the same time. Do we have any images of what the native population looks like?
Let me check the database.
I think I've been thinking to myself, there's a pretty low chance they're going to be blue or white skinned with antenna.
I mean, technically, there's always a possibility, but humanoid, dark skin. I believe, what's that? Old Earth culture. Aztec. You know, uh, Mesoamerican, uh, Hispanic. Uh, apparently opposed shirts. Definitely gonna have to tuck the ears.
How many life signs in the pyramid?
According to sensors, it seems to be about 100, sir.
Very well. Get what images you can so we can replicate their native dress.
Aye, Captain.
Like we're gonna at least need to go down there covertly and assess the amount of cultural contamination before we decide how we're going to go about removing the probe.
Shall I send in your measurements too, sir?
Might as well. It does not look like this is going to be an away team mission for Commander Cavall.
Fair point. I do, in the consideration of the culture itself, recommend we have at least 1 or 2 security members with us just to cover our bases.
That is reasonable, and make sure you get good images of their headwear. Need to cover you and Commander Solak's ears.
Hi, Captain.
Okay, now I'm gonna go get a drink. It looks like the other two are. Let's see if I get a drink before the other two come back.
No, I just returned also getting a drink. Oh, nice. I think you timed it right.
So to update to you, they are Mesoamerican type culture. They look very much similar to the Aztecs. Colorful clothing. Terms for attire.
Okay. And this is all just from, this is the Hornets logs dictated?
Yes, and
Gotcha.
present sensor scans.
Copy. And so we're just approaching the probe to take it?
The probe is in the center of a pyramid, where there are several.
Oh.
There's around 100, occupants inside the pyramid-like structure. You guys are debating not for, I guess, kind of to the point to or debating to send down a landing party to investigate further.
Yeah, it looks like we'll need native clothing and probably, based on what Rye said, little pigmentation and darken some of our skins, and well, at least the pale Vulcans there. Perona's olive skin Mediterranean. He'll probably fit right in.
Yeah. So it's in a pyramid again, similar to the last the Greek and the Egyptian culture place, right? Is it the pyramid of similar construction, or
it's in the pyramid of the Mesoamerican type?
Gotcha.
People.
Yeah, I'm assuming like the old Mayan ruins or Aztec ruins.
Gotcha.
Machu Picchu-esque.
Yeah, so we just have to bring the away team down there to gather it. Captain, are you going on this one?
Captain is since he has to leave his XO behind. Since
right.
Poor Craval is not going to blend in quite.
No, yeah, that would be not good. I'll take a supporting character.
Outside of character, couldn't we just beam it aboard the vessel? Or is that question been answered already when I was away?
Well, we might be able to, but
There's people around it. There's
Yeah.
people around it.
Yeah.
we need to.
Yeah, there's about like 100 people in the pyramid alone, so we don't know who's near it.
Yeah, the plan is to take an away team down and assess the amount of cultural contamination from the probe, and then decide the best way to remove it from the planet.
Gotcha.
So, obviously, we'll leave Commander Cavall on the bridge in charge,
Yep.
in command of the ship. Barone will lead the away team. He'll take Lieutenant Rye and Commander Solak. Need headdresses to cover those ears, and a little extra skin pigmentation. And let's take someone from medical and someone from security.
Yep.
Okay. So
I could bring Vigo.
The Carpathian.
You bring up the yeah. I don't know about that. Vigo's the Bajoran combat medic guy, so he's good in situations like this. And I guess the only security we'd have that would probably be a valid pick would Vidria, because the other ones are a Tellarite and a Benzite. Both of those would probably be a little difficult.
I mean,
to
I have
blend in.
my supervisory character security, but I don't know if we can double up on.
Yeah, how does
Oh,
that work?
that's right.
So,
yeah, we've got.
So how that works is you pick whichever one you are the primary of, and you can only play that character during that scene. So
Right, but like, we can bring a supervisory character instead of a supporting character, right?
yes, it costs.
There's no like.
It's double the cost though. So supervisory characters cost 2 crew support.
Gotcha. Well, yeah. Why don't we bring that supervisory character, and I'll bring Vigo, because that way we have all 5 of us here in case Vogel's back next week. We don't have.
But I think what he's saying is, if we do that, then Rye has to pick whether or not she's playing as Rye or playing as Varys, I think is the character's name. Is that what you're trying to say, GM?
Yeah, but the thing is,
Yeah.
I wouldn't worry about Vogel a whole lot, because the character could always be inserted later on, because
Okay.
you have transporters. Assuming Vogel wants to use the transporter, that's the other question. But
Yeah, that's a totally other topic altogether. Okay.
Well,
Y'all call. I thought about it because I remembered my other character. So
Yeah, we should use it. It'll allow you to activate the character as well.
okay,
you have to pick
but then
which one
I'd
you're
be playing
using.
as her. Sorry, it's them, and not Rye.
It's true. Do you want to play Varys or Rye? Which one would you want to pick? And then we could just have a different science person. come
Right.
down.
Yeah. Whichever one you want to play, I'll either bring a
Yeah.
officer, the medical.
I feel that Varys will be better for this mission, so I think I'll do Varys, and then Rye will stay on board, and we'll take somebody from
Sure.
science.
I'll bring. I get Maxine Sanders. Right. She's biology, xenobiology, anthropology.
That sounds perfect.
That feels accurate. I'll bring her. Nice.
What, we don't want to bring the Cation down? Could just shave her and then.
Yeah.
yeah. How many of the security staff are we willing to lose to hold the Cation down to shave all?
Right. Yeah.
All right, so it's the captain, Varys, Sanders, and Solak.
Yeah.
Got it.
All right.
Cool.
Have we ever used Sanders? I don't think
She
we've
got
ever.
activated a long time ago.
Oh yeah, she's on her 3rd. She's actually, this will be her 3rd activation.
Yeah.
Okay.
So she gets something now, right? Because we.
Yeah, because we did a talent last time.
Right. Yeah.
So a value.
Yeah. I was gonna say value is probably.
I've got like a bunch of values that I saved. If you want me
By
to
all
look
means, go for it.
all right, I'll look one up for you. Let's see if I can find it.
Oh yeah, she definitely.
She's
needs
our
a value.
xenobiologist.
Value gives her access to determination. It means she doesn't die the first time she gets hit by something.
Right.
Exactly. So she's a scientist, right? She's a xenobiologist.
Yeah.
There's more to life than molecules.
Nice. That's pretty good.
Or every culture has its unique wisdom to share. That's another one.
Yeah, you probably want to give her a value because she doesn't have one, because it means she doesn't have stress.
Yeah.
So if combat occurs and she gets hit, if it's lethal, she dies
Yeah, she
instantly.
dies.
So
Yeah. So those are the two science ones that I got that I think fit. Either there's more to life than molecules, or every culture has its unique wisdom to share.
Let me do the culture
I
one
think-
because she's got xenobiology and anthropology.
I'll throw it in the chat just so it's easier for you.
Yeah. I'm fine with either. Those are all fun. And very applicable for the current situation that we find ourselves in.
I do love Varus's portrait. She looks like she just doesn't give a shit about anything. Like, yeah, whatever. We're going down to the planet's surface. Fine.
What are they? They're a trill, right?
Yes, they are.
Nice.
Sure, we'll go to the planet.
All right.
There's a pyramid there. Whatever.
Just deadly warriors Tuesday, you know.
Yeah, so I'll do every culture. That seems fun. All right, cool.
Does someone want to roll for the trait DS of disguises? Before we,
I guess who would what sheet is rolling that?
well,
What
it could
character?
be the doctor or the captain could just order it using their command skill. So
why don't you get that, Cap? That seems
Yeah, I was
accurate,
about
right?
to say the captain will just order it.
So presence command difficulty 2. That way you have the trait active.
Are we? I'm not seeing the transporter room. Is anyone else not seeing it?
I'm seeing it. The token might not be applied to you. That's why.
Yeah,
Oh.
Varus might not have vision for you.
I know this will not sadden you, GM. Take a threat for that roll. Didn't need the reroll, but the moment I decide not to give myself the chance at a reroll will be the moment I actually need one.
Very true.
Gain a
Yeah.
momentum.
Got it.
If you want, I mean, you could up the potency if you want for two momentum spend if you want to do that. Just letting you know that's an option.
Oh, we got plenty of momentum. Let's do that. The Hornet has already caused enough cultural contamination. Let's see if we can avoid accidentally causing more.
Okay, so you'll have just jot it down in chat. Cultural disguise potency of 2. So you go down to 3 momentum. So yeah, after a little brief trip to sick bay with the appropriate disguise.
The doctor says, "You all look fabulous."
The captain, just for fun, looks at us and says, "You look good with a tan, Commander."
Thank you, Captain. The doctor says, "Please don't come back to me with any spear wounds, sword wounds, or any wounds of any kind, Captain. That's an order."
I can't make any guarantees on that.
I know, but humor me.
Oh, in that case, Doctor, I promise that no one will get any bladed weapon injuries during this away team mission.
Thank you.
We'll get blunt weapon injuries instead.
Let's try and avoid them all. And yes, Solak, you do look very good with a tan. I fail to understand how my skin pigmentation would make me look better, but I will take it as a compliment and say thank you.
As you should. Captain will call to the bridge. Lieutenant Rye, find us a good spot on the planet to beam down to so we don't show up in the middle of somebody's dinner celebration.
I'll do my best, Captain.
And GM, do you need me to roll the transporter chief to do the beam down?
Yeah, it'll be cruise support. I'm not gonna hit you like on the rough thing because it's a really hard thing to always plan out. It'll cost a cruise support to activate him. But the beam down,
that's right.
yeah, I'm not. Yeah, it doesn't make like how those rules so like kind of make up like this part has to be bended a bit
Right.
when using transporters. So.
Mhm.
Control plus engineering, difficulty of 1, assisted by the ship's sensors plus science. And yes, it's different from 1E. Ship
Whoa.
rolls 2 dice.
And the
Jeez.
ship.
Yo, Elliot Cox is crazy.
Elliot's been, working really hard and
Please let me roll, please.
knows how to beam people down to a planet.
Don't forget, it's an
do you want-
activation too, so because you're spending the crew support.
So activate him. Yeah, I'll activate him. It's his fourth activation. He's like, yeah. Can you roll the ship, Rye?
Sure thing.
Thank you.
Come on, complication.
We got 3 momentum out of that, right?
So far,
Because it doesn't matter.
1 more dice.
And we got a bonus momentum.
Not too bad.
1 more dice.
Sorry, GM. Tried. We're right. My bad.
1 more dice.
You never know.
He just wants that complication. He's like, come on, 20. Oh.
Sorry.
So close.
Just
But
good at
no,
what I do.
For not comping it.
No, I'll just.
Do we have 2
You have 2 float.
Oh, good.
It has to pertain to the roll. So.
Nice.
With those 2 float, do we want to try and create a
Yes,
what
we
am
will
I-
create a trait.
what a trait?
Like
A
trait.
trait.
Yeah,
Yeah, a
Or like-
trait.
optimal beaming location.
Or it could have to be with that we're really good with blending in or not drawing attention to ourselves.
I think it has to relate to the beam down, right?
Oh, it does.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it has to relate to the roll.
Yeah, but I think the only thing
It's
that
a-
really tracks here is just like we've got a really good location where we can not get messed with. I can't really think of
So
anything.
if we return to that location, there's a really good chance that no one would see us beam back out.
Right.
Essentially, right?
a
got
very
it.
good spot for
Okay.
infill and exfill.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, all
We'll do that.
right. Write it down for me. Because this is most
I've-
likely to be
I've
a
got it.
two-parter. Because
Trait, optimal beam location, and I'll take care of the transporter chief right here because he gets some stuff. This is 4th activation. I'll just give him another value.
no
And he keeps it approved
bold or
like this
cautious, no talents.
I was gonna say if he doesn't have one, you might want to
He's got talent. Well, you're right. You're right. He doesn't have a talent. I'll just give him cautious engineering.
Nice.
Do that. Sorry, I wasn't paying attention to what they actually were.
Isn't there like a transporter chief relevant talent?
He has it already.
There is. He has it already.
Yeah,
He's just too good.
You are well versed in transporter systems and often get them to function in extreme circumstances to achieve outcomes that few could manage. When you attempt a task to use, repair, or modify the transporter, you add 2 threat to reduce the difficulty of the task by 2 to a minimum of 0.
Wait, count you guys are at what? 4 crew support being used.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, with the transporter chief, I think, right?
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, you still have to use the crew support, but
Yeah,
I'm waiving the whole like you have to pick, which character you're playing during the scene
right.
type deal. So
Okay, gotcha.
I'm waiving it for I waive it for the transport chief because it's one of those particulars like it doesn't make sense because like
right. If you're gonna make us roll all the time, for
He's
him,
just up in the transporter room, kind of twiddling his thumbs, waiting for.
Yes, exactly. So it's either degraded to an NPC or you have to if he's being played actively throughout the scene, then yes, that
right.
be a
There's something
roll.
further than click button to roll down. Yeah.
His nickname is Coxie, so that way when someone needs to be beamed out, you say, "Coxie, beam me up."
That's great.
Showing off those animations, love it.
They are really cool.
They are cool.
Ooh, pretty.
And we're transported into a Mel Gibson movie.
Right.
You beat me by like 1 second. I was taking a drink, but I was going to say that.
That's great.
Well, then at least the dialogue will be authentic.
Yeah, we're really doing like the tour of cultural America. Like we've done Egyptian, we've done Greek, we're now doing Mesoamerican.
We're gonna do ancient China after
Yeah,
that.
we're swapping.
We'll do South African culture. The Indian subcontinent. I'm looking forward to the frozen world where
Right.
or we fight the Mongols. That'll be great.
Oh yeah. When are we going to Canada?
Yeah, Canada. You can pick some berries.
Nice.
I can't wait to fight the Gauls myself. That'll be good.
Yeah.
The Gauls. Yeah.
I want to go to the Canadian world where everyone is nice.
Everyone's nice.
Right.
Are you sure about that? We got the GD of Kitchen because of Canada. So just FYI. Anyhow. It's real. But you beam down. You beam down. It's sort of a nice secluded spot. And you see, one of the big primary pyramid temple type structure, and then sort of a city off into this web of, river system, kind of almost nestled into a valley. And you notice that the primary temple mound is just covered in gold. Like it is glimmering almost I would say Captain Perone is the most aware of this, and probably Sanders, of the legendary Aztec or legendary city in the Amazon, the city of gold, that was lost to history.
El Dorado.
Yeah, El Dorado. It's almost reminiscence of that in a way, and I'll let you guys take it from here.
All right, and we are still in a secluded location.
All right,
Yes. Go ahead.
How far are we from the location of the probe?
Scan shows it is in the center of the Golden Pyramid.
Okay. And what's our estimated walking distance from the location?
Probably about a good hour through because you are in dense jungle.
Okay.
Center up or center down below?
It's more like up.
Okay.
So you have to go up and then climb up, the temple and
So probably in there.
potentially somewhere, in the center.
Well, as long as we're down here, let's get a scan of the jungle.
Yep.
And a nice catalog of the flora and fauna to update the Hornets survey. I mean, might as well do some of the sciencey stuff while we're here.
Yep. Yeah. I can have Maxine Sanders roll
Oh, you
scanning
also
stuff.
scene change.
Sorry.
You go down one momentum.
Got it. I'll move it.
Yeah, just general scans. Life signs, strange power signatures, that sort of thing.
No,
The usuals.
no strange power signatures other than coming from the probe itself. You do not like the wildlife is very similar to what the Hornet scanned. Of note, though, various species you would find in the jungle. Several reptiles, spiders, large insects type deal. Along with other mammal type predators and very colorful birds.
Okay. But no nothing overtly like super hostile in this jungle, or seems like it's wildly out of place.
Don't get bitten by a snake. Just put it that way.
Sure.
That's a medical order, by the way.
Yeah.
All right. Well, once we take our initial survey of the area, let's hide those tricorders.
Yep.
And find a path and begin walking to the city.
Yeah.
We get closer. Let's keep a note to see if there are any entering the city type protocols that we may have to facilitate our way through.
As you begin walking through the dense jungle towards towards essentially the city to make your way towards the Golden Pyramid. Everyone give me a fitness plus con roll, difficulty of 1.
This
Right.
con.
It's like I said, the jungle is dense and
Maxine Sanders will give you a threat for a third die.
I'm assuming
That's all.
Sanders leads the charges. She carefully makes her way through the jungle vegetation.
She's
Solak
whispering to
falls
her-
flat on his face.
Right. She's whispering to herself. No.
Peron's going to spend a momentum.
Varys picks up Solak and keeps walking.
Get the momentum back.
Hey.
Solak, you fall, tripping over a few of the vines, and then you end up becoming tangled with inside of them. Almost as if
Help.
the jungle is trying to eat you.
I seem to have found a new life form.
And it likes you.
Varys walks over and puts their hand out. You need a hand there.
Yes, please, thank you.
And we'll attempt to pull Solak out of the muck.
Fitness security difficulty 2.
Rowan will attempt. Well, I don't know how well he'll do it, but he'll attempt to assist because he feels bad for picking on the poor Vulcan.
I'm going to spin a momentum for an extra die.
Get the momentum back, and you manage to untangle Solok and get him back on his feet. And you make your way towards the city. As you come ahead, you see a bustling, large uh, commerce area. And I forgot to put sound effects, but
Okay, can we spend a few moments just kind of observing the bustling crowd to try to pick up on cultural norms and
Yeah.
mannerisms and social classy kind of things,
Yeah.
stuff like that?
Good idea.
um, you see many of them. There's like several food stalls. Also along with other types of meats, clothing vendors. You also see several ones, armed with spears and bows and arrows, sort of like walking about. You assume potentially, sort of a city, type guard or police force in a way. Occasionally, you see the guards running off as someone shouting in an alien language. As a young boy runs down through it, lines of alleys to escape, his yeah, can't talk, but yeah.
Little Aladdins everywhere. Anything notable from a security threat? Sorry, Captain.
No, go ahead. I was going to ask about sitting long enough for the for our communicators, so the universal translator, to get caught up.
Um, I mean, are you guys going into the city itself and kind of walking among them as to try to for the translator to pick up?
Yes, but after the security person's determination of risk there.
You don't see a risk in it. It Everyone seems to be kind of going about their daily lives.
Cool.
Looks safe enough, sir.
All right, well, keep your eyes open, folks. Let's head in. Try to avoid making contact until the universal translators get caught up.
As you head in, your universal translators pick up, and you hear, seamlessly, as you ignore them, you hear several, merchants call like call out, well, not just to you, but generally, people come see my, finest wares of vase and fresh fruits, type deal.
Fresh fish. Fresh fish.
All right. Well, let's the capital kind of lead the way and kind of head us in the direction of the pyramid. Again, kind of paying attention to what
Yeah.
people are talking about around us, trying to pick up on cultural norms, things like, so typical social distance for for conversation, looking for, patterns in dress, different ways people greet each other, or give deference to other people, that sort of thing.
Yeah, Sanders is going to focus a lot on that, like making sure the greetings are right, listening to into how do they address each other, any titles or anything, that thing.
They seem to do like a sort of arm greeting, and then they put their hands to their chest when they, greet. Women, on the other hand, kind of do like a slight, almost curtsy like greeting. But give me like an insight plus command roll difficulty 1 to overhear something.
Cultural studies is a focus.
Sure.
Nice.
And so, just so I have the reroll, I will give you another threat. I'm sure I won't regret it later.
No, of course not.
Wow.
But I'll be glad.
Oh, Captain.
Yeah.
Hmm.
There we go.
Okay,
Wow. All
that's
right.
better.
Gain a momentum. As you walk through, you stop and you overhear two women talking, and they go, as they speak, there's so many people applicants for the festival. I wonder who will be chosen. I hope the goddess grants us favor.
That seems like an important cultural event. We'll start keeping my ears out for other people talking about it.
Captain, may I make a recommendation?
Yes, but perhaps not call me captain in the middle of this crowd.
Understood, sir. The necessity of our subterfuge would also not negate, it would necessitate a cover story, a background as to who we are and our relationships.
Yes, but you are right, my friend. But we need to absorb a little bit of the culture before we can come across one that is appropriate.
I think some sort of generic cover story should suffice. Would it be logical to assume that we are merchants here in the city?
My good merchant friend. Where are your goods?
We are here to procure, potentially, or observe. We don't necessarily need to sell.
I overheard some of the people talking about a festival. Maybe we're just from another village here for the festival.
Yeah. Visiting.
That would be logical.
You notice as Solak keeps talking very professionally, Desmond's eyes start to twitch a little bit, like be more subtle, but he's also a superior officer, so they're not going to say anything, but they're like keeping an eye out, and like every time he says logical, her eye twitches a little bit. Their eye twitches a little bit. I'm still in Rye's head. Give me a minute.
Right. Reset. Yeah.
So you continue making your way towards the Golden Pyramid.
Yes. Let's say keeping an ear out. Having heard this comment about this upcoming festival, I'm going to try to see if I can overhear more about it. Begin looking to see if I can observe signs of, the village, town, city, whatever it is, being decorated for a festival. Trying to pick up some cues about what kind of festival it is, because this seems to be an Aztec like culture, and so Aztec festivals um, could be a little disturbing.
You
True.
are suggesting that human sacrifice is on the agenda for this festival.
Well,
It
all
is
the more reason for us to get in and do our job with small interference, and then get out and study all the stuff later.
Agreed. That is that is the best course of action.
yes. Let's continue along this path here
Mm.
towards the temple. Keep your eyes and ears open. As we get closer to the temple, does the crowds get larger or decrease or stay the same?
As you get closer towards the temple, you notice that a line has formed. You see many people in garbs carrying carts of appears to be food and jewelry, rare precious stones, and the sorts.
And this line goes all the way to the temple.
It does.
Okay.
Okay, we step to the side a bit and say that line there looks like it possibly is for donations to the temple, perhaps sacrifices, or what some earth religious cultures would call a tithe. Perhaps we should find an out of the way spot to have the Navajo replicate and transport us down something so that we might participate in this cultural event. Might gain us access to the temple. Um, can pros see the front of the line, or people just dropping off their stuff and leaving, or are they gaining access to the temple through their?
It's Give me insight security because it is a little bit further away. Difficulty of 2.
That's gonna be tough. Yeah, but I'll spend. Yeah, we got plenty of it. I'll spend 3
Oh,
moments. Cultural studies for focus.
No.
Hey,
Nothing I can do about that complication though.
To get a momentum. The crowd looks like it goes on forever. Uh, you definitely could tell it seems like they go inside the building, but you are worried that you could be here for hours, if not days, the way this line is moving.
Oh, that's a long line. Maybe standing in line to pay a tithe to the for the festival could be Plan B. Let's maybe we get close to the temple and find a faster way in.
Well, Captain, if I recall correctly, the festival there were entries. Perhaps we can apply, and that would get us in.
Possibly, but we probably want to know what we're entering the contest for. I'd hate to be signing up to be a sacrifice.
Oh, don't have to stick around for that part. If it gets us in the building, then we can just wander off.
True, but a lot of cultures like this, once someone volunteers to be a sacrifice, they tend to keep an eye on those folks in case they change their mind.
Maybe it's more of a contest.
That's also possible. Let's see if we can learn more about it before we volunteer for it, though. Never a
I
bad
said,
idea to get more information.
Yeah, it's not like we're not in any major rush here either. I mean, we spent some time trying to figure out what else is going on.
You're right. We're not. That is true. We're not in any time crunch. Let's not. Let's not back ourselves into one.
yes, sir.
Cool.
So the goal is to sneak around.
Well, we don't need to sneak. We can
Oh,
walk through the crowd and again see if we can pick up more about what this festival's about.
Mhm.
See
See,
if
are there any people that are getting like skipping to the front of the line faster than we are, and try to determine why or how? Or
Well, and now that we're closer to the pyramid, Varus would clock if there's guard rotations, standard movement between back and forth locations, standing guard. What are the security setups for the pyramid itself?
yeah, I don't want to be. We always said we just walk around because if we're attempting to sneak, then we become suspicious.
Right. Insight plus security difficulty 2 to kind of figure out guard rotations. And interest for the cultural side, insight plus science difficulty 2, as you're sort of listening in and making small inquiries.
I'm going to use a momentum. Oh, for crap's sake.
Oh,
Wow.
wow. Two
They're
rolls,
nervous
three
because the first big mission guarding the captain, and they're just too hyper vigilant and can't even think about anything else besides protecting the captain.
Captain, all the guards appear purely ceremonial. They will not be a problem whatsoever.
right.
Okay,
Corporal lieutenant.
let's handle the other roll first before I dive into the complication.
How
It was
about, that was a science roll. How about our science?
Ins-
Yeah,
our
I-
Inside
want to
science
do that?
diff 2.
And perhaps assisted by the captain because that is he has cultural studies. As
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll take cultural studies for a focus.
she's got anthropology or xenobiology, like maybe anthropology. We're trying. It's a little
I'll-
tough, but
It's a stretch, but I'll take it.
copy. Okay. I will give you a momentum for third die. I will
I'll try
not.
a little complication with my assist.
Okay.
You get it back.
It's okay. I rolled all of them. You're fine.
Right. Getting them out of the way.
As you
There's
are,
a delay with the game right now. Should be 3.
There.
as you walk about through, getting close, and you listen in onto individuals talking, and kind of pick up on the festival. It sounds like a series of games, and along with a religious donation to their goddess. From the sound of it, it sounds like the goddess is a living being, though.
Interesting. Okay.
Like literally living or metaphorically living? Like,
No,
oh,
like
a lot
as
of people
in
believe their
they
god is
denotes
a
the
living
person
god.
is alive, and present within the the golden city.
Sure.
Many talk about, like, as you're listening, talk
Yeah,
about
there's a
seeing
person in
her,
there.
like seeing
Oh, there's a
her,
tiefling.
and stuff like that. And I do apologize for some reason. Discord is almost red for me, so I don't know if I'm having connection
They talk
issues.
about it with reverence. Yeah, same.
Yes, with reverence.
Yeah, same.
I'm hearing you fine. But
Okay, gotcha.
something is tickling the back of Brone's memory. Um, are there any depictions of this goddess anywhere?
Yeah, good idea. Statues, mural.
For momentum.
Sure.
One momentum.
See.
Yeah.
Yes.
Alive like Dalai Lama avatar, or alive like physical, like the Egyptians thought that the person was a deity.
I can tell you literally
Does she
kind of
look
both.
familiar?
Does she look familiar?
Yeah,
Um, you see it.
Yeah.
You see.
We run.
I'll put it this way: you see crude paintings of a woman. It's of a woman. Big. It looks like golden feathers and a pale white skin.
Didn't we run into out of character? Didn't we run into some woman that was calling herself a god in some place in a pyramidal structure that we let loose and she escaped and we never saw her again, kind of thing? Or am I thinking of a different game?
No, the pyramid lady, but that was like some sort of weird. I don't know if cosmic is the right word, right? But yeah, I remember what you're talking about.
Now, was that something the captain? When I was still when I before I was the captain?
Check. Let me check my notes. When was that? I think that mission was before you were the captain, but I can't remember.
Okay, Solak's been around the whole time. Does he recognize her?
Does he?
It's a crude drawing. Like the shapes are like kind of square. You just see these, round kind of eyes. It it doesn't look like anyone of like the locals, like because the depiction of her is her skin is pale, more Caucasian tone than tan. Does not look.
So it looks like what I put in the chat.
No, it's a little bit more detailed than that. But the features are a little bit more square, in
Okay.
line with certain
Okay.
depictions of like how Mesoamerica drew.
Sure.
Got it. It's stylized. It is very possible that an alien has contaminated the culture of this civilization.
Hooray.
Oh, you mean alien besides us?
We are currently not trying to contaminate this culture, but logically, if this individual of this depiction is accurate, it is possible that an alien has arrived here and is passing themselves off as some sort of god.
That would be the first time.
Certainly not.
Yeah.
All right. Anybody see another way in, or did we get some goods transported and get in line? We might actually learn interesting things talking to the people in line around us.
It's true.
As for the complications, Varus,
Right.
Yes.
as you're kind of doing your investigation, you are stopped by two guards who was like, and they question you as states your business. You are not allowed in this area.
He asked her directly or to us as a group?
Directly
Yeah, I
to
was
her.
about to ask the same thing.
They noticed her kind of almost snooping, and yeah, they're pointing spears at her, or they.
Oh God.
New to the village, just having a look. Did not mean to offend. Hands slightly raised. Just didn't know.
The two guards grab your arms and state, "We will take you to the goddess. She'll deem your punishment." Do you resist?
I mean, yeah.
Punishment for looking around?
What have we seen so far about the relationship between males and females here? Is it a patriarchal society? It seems like matriarchal. Does it look more male dominated, like the Earth's Middle East? What are we looking at here?
I mean, it's nothing like the Middle East. You know, I wouldn't say they're on equal. You know, between the genders that they're on an equal footing. It's kind of hard to grasp, though. I mean, it seems like women have a bit more freedom ish in this culture, but you don't see any female warriors in that regards, though.
How young does Varus look? How young does Varus look?
Varus is 22 and probably looks a little younger.
I am making an assumption that the captain and the others see Varus get into a bit of a bind there.
Yes.
Okay, taking a flyer here. The captain is going to kind of stride purposefully up to the group, look at the guards. And, what has my idiot daughter gotten herself into this time? Hoping that the universal translator will push that into something appropriate.
You speak for this one?
Captain will visibly sigh. Yeah. This is my oldest child. Her, her curiosity tends to get the better of her. She sticks her nose in places it does not belong, and she caused some offense through her mannerisms.
Then you will accompany us with her.
Very well. What offense has she caused?
That is for the goddess to decide, but she is acting rather suspicious. No one is permitted in this area, including you.
Nah, I understand. I just came to see what my daughter had gotten into. We are new to the city. We did not mean to trespass where we were not permitted to be.
Were there signs that were dictating the trespassing sector?
Well, not that you can tell, but it is, area is guarded.
Okay.
The goddess is wise. She will know the right thing to do.
Okay.
Solak says to the captain, "Should we come with you?"
Yeah, we're me and Solak still. I guess if this is somehow like a dictated zone, we wouldn't want to follow the captain into a zone we're not supposed to be in. So,
No, I said the captain just kind of strode that way. So
yeah.
But
So
this is also an opportunity to meet this goddess. So Solak says to the captain, "Should we come with you?"
perhaps it is better than just me and my daughter. We don't want to press too much on the goddess's time and create more offense by trespassing when we're not supposed to. The captain says, hoping that Solak has not now gotten himself in trouble by walking out.
right, yeah. Maxine's trying to stay a respectable distance away and try to determine where what the area is, so we don't all get thrown in prison immediately.
I will go with I will go with my daughter and the guards to apologize for our trespass. My friend, take you and your wife and prepare our gift for the goddess for the festival.
Yes, my friend.
I'm sure the goddess will treat you justly.
She is wise and just. We trust in her. Come, guard, take us so that we might learn of our fate.
Assuming you don't resist,
Okay.
the one let goes of Varus and then grabs you by the arm and then begins leading you into the temple. Well, pyramid. As you walk through,
Varus and it is just going to like not like grab hold. Sorry, in like a daughter who's scared grab the captain's arm, but it's more of like a she's trying to prepare not to be separated. They're trying not to be prepared to be separated, but they're gonna try to play it off like "Help me, father" kind of a thing.
as you landed through several passageways, you come across, and it's fairly obvious to glance at first. You see the old Starfleet probe hanging in the center on top of what appears to be a golden platform, adorned with different metal ornate markings on it, in almost like a graffiti type manner, and several offerings around it. As then you're taken into what appears to be a throne room. As the guards, push you in and forcibly they put you on your knees, assuming you don't resist.
No resistance at this point. If Varus seems to hesitate, the captain will just kind of pull her down by the arm that she's holding onto him with.
No, Varys very slowly does it, but still holds on to the captain.
You see a woman, pale, golden blonde hair, definitely out of sorts compared to the rest of the inhabitants. As the, two almost servant like women, one rubbing her feet ever so gently, and the other one feeding her assortment of grapes. As the two guards go, "Pardon our intrusion, Your Majesty. We found this one lingering in too closely to the sacred areas." As she stops and motions the other ways and takes a good look at you and sighs. I guess that probe took long, or was detected. Tell me what Starfleet has business here.
The captain's going to, in his mind, he thinks, well, the jig is up.
Is it not time for a colorful metaphor?
The captain's going to look around. Perhaps, goddess, we could talk about this in a less crowded room.
Oh,
Perhaps,
don't worry.
or the-
They don't understand what we're speaking. The language I'm speaking, your universal translator is easily picking up. They won't hear us.
The captain visibly sighs again. Well, and Captain David Perone of the USS Navajo, we detected the subspace signal from the probe and came to investigate.
Captain Perone of the Navajo? I knew I detected that familiar presence. Tell me, what happened to Captain Knox?
Captain Knox was reassigned and I took command of the ship.
Oh,
I take it you're familiar with the Navajo.
I am. I do owe them a debt. Oh, right. Name, pleasantries. I am Alunia.
It's a pleasure to meet you, Looney. I hope this debt you owe the Navajo is a pleasant one.
I'm assuming you want the probe back. Unfortunately, I can't allow that. See, it's, well, your mistake. My gain, obviously. But they view it as a, well, cultural relevance. A gift from the sky gods. The one that they must protect.
But are you not one of the sky gods to them?
I suppose I am. I did convince them on the matter. Making the probe active to denounce a few bells and whistles was enough to convince them. Believe me, they're very superstitious. They almost wanted to kill me. Can you believe that? Me?
I cannot possibly imagine anyone wanting to kill their own goddess.
Well, I can think of a few. So I guess we're in a predicament here, Captain Perone.
One of us certainly is.
Well,
Perhaps.
I did come here to relax, recharge my powers.
There's a bit of the probe is serving a bit of a cultural contamination. But from what you said, it seems like it was here long before you got here. Isn't that what I heard?
Oh, it was. Can't believe those pesky people from the Hornet left it here. Well,
Well, Starfleet 100 years ago. Sometimes they made some mistakes, and you got to come along and clean up the mess. But perhaps you could spin some tale of your as the goddess that it is time for the probe to return to the realm of the gods.
afraid that won't really work, Captain.
Why not?
Oh, for multiple reasons. They believe it to be their, well, beacon of hope. It has allowed them to bring, well, peace among these lands.
You're not their new guard. They're more what do you say? Lively beacon of hope.
No, merely I am filling a role within their pantheon, if you believe it or not. It's quite entertaining. But if this, well, your probe were to leave, I would say it would cause such devastating consequences culturally, religiously. Might even start a whole entire planetary war. Well, given that the only inhabitants are around this region.
But couldn't your mere presence here prevent that from happening?
Oh no, I am merely just a convenience. One who helped foster the religious belief more. My presence here would, well, only be tolerated for so much longer. Then I had to probably leave.
Why would you only be tolerated for so much longer? I'm fascinated by your presence here.
Well, at some point, see, they elect individuals who can, that they believe can interact with the probe to be sent back up to the sky gods. At some point, they will sacrifice me. Wish I knew that before I took on this role.
Well, I can certainly see the complication there for you. But I'm guessing you have an escape plan already.
I do. However, a starship would help. My powers are still quite weak after that little demonstration I did a few months ago. Kind of zapped me a bit.
I totally admit. I mean, I wasn't on the Navajo at the time. You've got to tell me about this demonstration you speak of.
Well, I got a little revenge. There's nothing wrong with that when you've been held captive for a millennia.
That sounds awful.
Grueling.
Where will you go?
Oh, I don't know. Somewhere pleasant, though I do like this avenue a little bit being treated with such delicate care is also appealing.
Well, till the sacrifice part, I suppose.
Yes. So I can maybe
So,
convince them
Before
otherwise.
you became their, so before you became their goddess, who were you?
Oh, I was just a wee
You said you were
traveler.
falsely in prison.
Well, I was falsely in prison, not here, elsewhere. That I'm trying to lay low from Q. Not the most pleasant chap.
Q. You mean that annoying, omniscient being that keeps bothering the Enterprise's captain?
Yes, well, we had a bit of a few millennia ago. He imprisoned me, along with a few other of his kindling.
Interesting. So, where are you from, though? I mean, where's home?
Oh, home no longer exists. It's long been swallowed by a star. Yes, I'm very old.
Well, I hear it's impolite to talk about a lady's age.
Right, I need to pass judgment on you. As she speaks, they are free to go. The gods have deemed them worthy enough. They are to make several donations, though. I trust that won't be a problem.
Of course not, my goddess. We'll most certainly do as you ask. Thank you for your mercy and wise judgment.
My pleasure.
Daughter, I think we've taken up far too much of the goddess's time. Perhaps she will be gracious and grant us an audience at a later time.
Of course. Now, please be gone. As she resumes lounging back into the throne chair, and with that, I think we will end today's session there.
Oh, goodness gracious.